If I refer back to other markets that recently, or at least over the last 12 months, have attracted attention, like take, for example, the Dutch market, there was again the same thing. After the summer and Expo, there was definitely optimism. And what one tends to see is that as soon as we have these positive signs, the vendors, coming back to the previous discussion, the vendors say, okay, maybe we should hold back. And of course, then the market comes again to a halt. And I kind of read here that we're entering more or less into the same game here. And since the positive signs have only been for the last 6 months, the worry is that we might encounter over the forthcoming months this influx of capital, interested investors and so on, but ultimately things might come to a halt and we're going to have this typical vendor, buyer, bidder game which locks again the market.
I do think that the weight of capital now looking at Spain is far more significant than any of the previous waves we've seen. You know, there was a surge of interest in late 2010, early 11 that then very quickly returned overseas. So I think it is here to stay. I do think it will encounter some frustrations. I'm already experiencing from vendors quite a reduction in yields because they point to the reversionary value in rental increase that CBRE were talking to this morning. And so you're already having to pay the vendors for future gains that you might be seeking to benefit from. And I think that is going to cause some friction.
I think we are going to see more structures that kind of share upside potential because some of the vendors probably need to sell anyway, but they would like to have a bit of an option in order to get a bit of the recovery at some point. So things like we've seen in the FAB structures with Sareb. Obviously this is a bit more complex than just for selling 100% and buying 100%. But I think this could match a bit this kind of situation in which sellers need to sell, but at the same time they might be seeing, that there is a possibility, to recover part of the value, and there are ways to bridge that. The problem before, when we were talking about these structures, is that still the values were so high in the books that there was no way to bridge it. Now it looks like it is more possible, with the data that we have already, with the writing down the provisioning that has taken place, we are pretty much closer to get a positive solution for that.